Hey, this is Nathan with Analog Reviews, and today we're having a look at the PlayStation 3 exclusive Tales of Xillia. In a generation that has seen a marked improvement in the action and shooter genres, Japanese RPGs have more or less remained the same. Final Fantasy is on the decline, and many other recent titles have been uninspired. The Tales franchise is an exception, and is one of the last great series for the genre, with Xillia marking the latest installment. Set in a fantasy world, you initially have a choice of one of two characters, a medical student by the name of Jude Mathis, or a mysterious girl named Mila Maxwell. The game encourages multiple playthroughs, allowing you to piece together the story from different perspectives. While Jude and Mila travel together for the majority of the game, there are still plenty of sequences that are unique to certain playthroughs. There's also a new game plus, where certain items and abilities will carry over to the next playthrough. The world of Riza Maxia is based around the symbiotic relationship between spirits and mankind. Spirits need humans' innate mana in order to survive, while the people benefit from the various powers called arts, which are granted to them by the spirits. This allows man to have a constant energy source in order to create cities, manipulate weather, and to gain special techniques. New tools by the name of Spyrex have been created, which disturb the delicate balance of power between men and spirits. Mila and Jude's quest is to prevent that from happening. On your journey, you'll meet multiple characters with varying personalities that all aid Mila on her mission. The voice acting and dialogue are well done, as is the humor, but a few of the characters can be a bit irritating at times.
Super pals, don't split up! We stay together forever!
It's also worth mentioning that the game isn't fully voice acted, as quite a few NPCs will display a text bubble opposed to actually talking. The story can be very predictable at points, at least for the first half of the game, but the dialogue and strong character development will keep you invested in the plot for the most part. The narrative does take a bit of time to build momentum, but it definitely picks up later on. The highlight of Tales of Xillia is the combat system, which plays more or less like a fighting game. Similar to the other Tales titles, you can choose whether or not to battle enemies by either touching or avoiding them, opposed to the classic random battles seen in other JRPGs. Upon entering a battle, you have full control of the protagonist, while the other characters act to support you. You can chain together combos, special abilities, as well as being able to actively block and dodge. Each of the characters plays differently, and you're able to swap between them on the fly. Special combos can be created by linking two characters together, which will add various effects. This makes the combat feel a lot less stale when compared to other JRPGs. Your characters level up and develop through a grid called the Lilium Orb, similar to the way it was in Final Fantasy X.
Please forgive us.
For defeating you.
And taking your items. That's just spoils of war.
There are multiple paths your characters can take in terms of growing stronger. There are also plenty of new arts and passive abilities to unlock along the way. For your primary character, you can map these abilities to different buttons on your controller, but for your AI-controlled teammates, you can configure which abilities they will use. Passive abilities can also be set, allowing for more as you level up. The crafting system, which was a staple in the other Tales games, has been removed in favor of a shop upgrade system. Essentially, you're able to level up the various shops in the game, with items you find from either defeating monsters or finding them in the environments. As your shops level up, they allow you to purchase new weapons, armor, and items, as well as provide you with a discount on the items that are already available. Alternatively, you can also donate money to the shops in order to level them up as well. This is an interesting concept, but isn't quite as fun or in-depth as the crafting system seen in previous Tales games. It would have been better had they implemented both concepts into the game. Tales of Xillia also features multiple side quests, which usually consist of either having to kill a monster or a delivery mission. These feel quite repetitive and don't add anything significant to the game. In fact, even the main story quests can feel rather repetitive, as most of the time one of your characters will wander off somewhere, and your objective will be to find them. The game does feature a few secret areas as well as optional bosses, which reward the player with new weapons and items. Treasure chests also litter the environments, which contain items as well as cosmetic additions to your characters. The graphics appear to be a bit dated, as the game was initially a Japan-only release in 2011, and has just now been translated for Western audiences. While the graphics aren't cutting edge, the art style is well done, and does well to hold one's attention. The environments vary, however quite a few areas are reused, and the lack of a world map makes the game feel quite linear. The game does have a fast travel system, but most of the time you'll want to just walk so that you're able to find respawning items for leveling shops and to experience more dialogue between characters. Surprisingly, the game also suffers from texture pop-in issues in a lot of different areas. The music is well done and is composed by Motoi Sakuraba, the man responsible for the soundtracks of Dark Souls, Valkyrie Profile, and the other Tales games. However, the limited selection of tracks can feel a bit repetitive when spread across the length of the game. In fact, it takes between 30 and 40 hours per playthrough, depending on how many side quests you do along the way, so you definitely get your money's worth with the game. Overall, Tales of Xillia is a solid RPG with a few flaws. It's not quite as complex or immersive as Ni no Kuni and Tales of Vesperia, but it's still a great game if you can get over the repetitive nature of things.